cemented in this game. Two teams, one champion. A shining moment for one, the dread of failure for the other. Tonight, the Indiana Hoosiers travel to Miami Gardens with a perfect 15-0, crushing Alabama 38-3 in the Rose Bowl and demonstrating dominance against Oregon with a 56-22 win in the Peach Bowl. The Miami Hurricanes come to their home stadium with a 13-2 record, a team that was on the bubble just hoping for their opportunity and have taken advantage. They began their playoff journey by outlasting Texas A&M in a defensive struggle in the 3, followed by an enormous win over the defending champion Ohio State Buckeyes. They made their final push by holding off the Ole Miss Rebels in the last play of the game for the Eskimos to advance to the national championship back home. So tonight, a lot is at stake. Fernando Mendoza can win a championship back home. Carson Beck can win a championship for Miami after transferring away from Georgia. Two great teams, 60 minutes for the rest of their lives. This is the 2026 CFP National Championship game.
25. Milrose got a running back to his right. He's got 4 receivers. Milroe looking, throwing deep. He's got Ryan Williams caught. He's running down the sideline. Breaks a couple tackles. Running. Touchdown, Alabama. What a play. Touchdown, Alabama.
And here's the snap. Hands it to Audric Estime. And that is and should be a touchdown. Here we go. Bryson Barnes has got his back behind him. It is Jaquindon Jackson. Here's the snap. Bryson Barnes looking deep. He's got a man. It's caught! He's got touchdown early. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the College Football Playoff National Championship game. I'm Cooper Naylor, and I'm so glad that you can join us here tonight. And I'm joined by Derek Sanford, and what a game that we have, Derek.
Yeah, this game is kind of one of the most surprising games we could have gotten. And like Indiana, nobody really expected them to make it past the first two. Most people was half on Indiana beating Alabama, and most people thought Oregon was going to beat them. Didn't expect them to beat them in the same game. And Miami, I didn't, in my bracket that I did not even think Miami was making it past Texas A&M. And nobody, well, except for one guy, had Miami making it past Ohio State. That was just a complete mind blower. And this college football playoff has proved why the 12-team playoff has actually paid off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you consider that last year's national championship game, although you still got two perennial powerhouses in Ohio State and Notre Dame in the national championship game, you got teams 8 and 9 in there, or I think it was 7 and 8. 7 and 8 made it to the national championship game last season. This year, you got the number 1 team taking on the number 10 team. Miami was the last team into the field because even though it's a 12-team playoff, you know, Tulane and James Madison got automatic bids because of winning their conference. And so a lot has been said about Miami's run here to the national championship. Let's first talk about the Heisman winner in Fernando Mendoza, the ability he had to get here, and he's thrown more touchdowns in this playoff than he has incompletions. Talk to me a little bit about what you've seen from Fernando Mendoza in this college football playoff.
Man, Fernando Mendoza, I was skeptical. Well, I was like, okay, he was not surprising Heisman winner. I wouldn't have been surprised if Diego was closer in the race and would have won the Heisman Trophy because he had been putting up big numbers. But this playoff run he's had, it has been one of the best playoff runs ever in college football history by a quarterback, and has just proven that he's one of the best quarterbacks ever in college sports.
And I mean, you could argue, which I don't know if you, me personally, I don't know if you could really put him in this race, but you could argue if Indiana goes on to win this national championship, that they should be put into the ranks of, when you think of that 2019 LSU team that made that incredible run. I mean, Indiana could be 16-0 at the end of the year, which has never been done. So, when you consider how good Indiana has played this season, I mean, they could potentially be up there. What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, if Indiana wins this game, we're going to see within 10 years, there's going to be a documentary about this turnaround. It's just too big of a turnaround for there not to be something to remember it. It's just what college football is all about, pretty much.
Yeah. It is it's incredible. And so let's change our attentions to the team that a long time ago they were used to this, but now they seem like the underdogs, and that's Miami. You got a guy who transferred in, Carson Beck, who there was a lot of hate on him as far as how he played at Georgia, and now he's got a chance to go win a national championship at Miami and really prove all his doubters wrong. What is your thoughts on this Miami team?
Yeah, for me, I haven't seen much of them, but what I have seen is Carson Beck has been decent, but the key spot for me is this defense with Ruben Bain coming off the edge and Deontay Scott. Man, I think he's a cornerback. I can't remember exactly. He's just like that pick six and against Ohio State, and Ruben Bain has been getting to the quarterback a bunch. So that could be the defense will be a key part for Miami in this game.
Yep, I totally agree with that. And so, as we said, it's going to be a really fun game here tonight, as we are just under 11 minutes until kickoff. As with how these broadcasts go, you may say 6:30 is kickoff, but it's another 20 minutes before they actually kick the ball off and get ready to go. They're in Miami, Florida, and so a lot fun season that it has been, and it culminates tonight in Miami. And you got both starting quarterbacks, which this is actually kind of interesting. Carson Beck, he is from Jacksonville, Florida, and Fernando Mendoza, he's from Miami. He lived like just a few miles down the road here from Hard Rock Stadium. So that's some interesting information for you, the viewers, who, just wanted to get a little tidbit of something that is really cool. So.
And Fernando Mendoza, some other key facts about him. He was a Miami fan growing up, and he went to Miami's training camps, and Miami passed him up, and he eventually went to Cal and now came to Indiana. And whenever Auburn lost Cal, I was like, man, this is going to be a rough season. But now seeing what all Fernando has been doing, it's like, hey, that Cal team was carried by Fernando, and Fernando has now truly become one of the best players in college football.
All right, folks, let's take a short commercial break, and we will be right back as we get set for the College Football Playoff National Championship game. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are getting set for the national championship game right here on Saber Broadcast Network. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. That is for sure. As I'm getting, as we are getting very, very excited for this ball game here tonight. We're going to go. My side, I'm doing the all 22 broadcast, so should give me a view of the entire field, which is going to be fun to watch here tonight. So, yes, sir, we are just minutes away from kickoff in Miami for the national championship, which is going to be. This is one like we said a few minutes ago that we did not expect at the beginning of the year, and two teams that definitely make for a really great story whenever it's all said and done. So,
Yeah,
gonna
and
be a lot.
good.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, and I pulled up on my laptop some information about this history of the Miami Indiana matchups. It's very brief, but it says that there's been two meetings overall. In 1964, Miami lost 28-14 against Indiana. And in the rematch in 1966, Miami won 14-17 in a Ravens contest. So the series is tied 1-1, and now they're being in the national championship over 70 years later.
Wow. All right. So, oh wow, this is interesting. I don't remember the last time I watched an all 22 broadcast, but it gives you the entire field, which is really interesting to see.
Yeah, and I'm on the regular broadcast because I don't feel like fooling with that, but it'll give us two different views to see what we think about it and different the plays and the close plays and see like that what happens.
Yep. All right. So we are under 4 minutes until kickoff. Um, I'm not. We both will not be picking the game since we're calling it. Better to be a little bit unbiased. Although I will say you could catch me with a little stray right there because earlier in the week I have been trying to put out one YouTube short a day, and so I think I picked Indiana to win the game earlier this week. So, yeah, I am guilty of making a pick.
And I'll keep mine discreet, just where nobody can call me biased. But I would love to pick it.
Something else I just saw. I can click on this. I think I can watch with stats.
Oh yeah, I know on Prime Video you can actually go and watch stats of the game, and but I don't know about. But I would bet the ESPN app would allow you to watch the stats at the same time.
Well, we're going to try this. If it allows me to watch with stats, then we're going to do it. Oh, yeah. All 22 with the stats. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, that would be yeah, and welcome to the broadcast, CJN Sports. We see that you're going for the Canes today. Maybe it'll work out for you.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is really cool. So it does put the actual game into like a more of a split screen, but it's actually bigger than than the rest of the screen. So the game puts up most of the screen is the actual game, which is good. But then it gives you your match predictor, which This is crazy, folks. It says, according to ESPN's match predictor, Indiana's got a 68.3% chance to win this game. So that means 68% of America thinks that Indiana is going to beat Miami here tonight. So that is going to be really interesting.
And earlier, ESPN's ranking, their prediction was 73% with for Indiana to win. It had them as a 7.5 point favorite over Miami.
So we got some stats that I can bring up as far as this season. So this season, when you look at both of the quarterbacks, Fernando Mendoza this season, he is 226 of 316, 2,980 yards, 33 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. You look at Carson Beck, 263 of 352, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He's thrown for 3,072 yards this season. And then, it's crazy that you're able to look at all this. This is actually really cool.
And what's real cool right now on the broadcast at the game, right now it's the coin flip, and Miami has the honorary captain of Michael Irving out on the field. And everybody most likely has seen the videos of him doing the belt slap on the opposing team's jerseys. And it's just been a key. It's been part of the college football story going on, and so it's just interesting to see it.
Yeah, it is. You can tell. There's one thing you can tell though, whether you think Michael Irvin is crazy or not. At least you know one thing, and that is he loves his school. That is no doubt. He loves Miami, and so you got to give him credit where credit's due. Colton, I do agree.
Yeah, Michael Irvin is crazy, and also you got to say this Kurt Signetti, he's crazy. He's in his own way crazy with his responses. He just has common. Just keeps it straight and just says what needs to be done. And like he just said before the game, he said all they have to do to keep Fernando safe is give him key blocks and give him time.
All right. We are about set to go in Miami. This is going to be fun. I'm now on the Skycast, so I'll get the best possible view now of the game. As right now they're showing the crowd in the intro video that they put together for the game. So this is going to be a fun game, folks. Thank you for choosing us to watch the game with, though, because we're trying to get Saber Broadcast Network monetized by the end of the year. So we need 500 subscribers by the end of the year to do that. So if you are not subscribed and you are joining us here live tonight, please do consider subscribing just to help us out a little bit, because every little subscription helps us get to monetization, which will help make our content even better. So it's going to be Indiana kicking off the ball, so they'll get the ball to start the second half. And we're going to get to see Carson Beck in that Miami offense out on the field to start this game. So tonight, the kicker, Brandon Frankie.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And that one is received in the end zone, and Miami will bring that out. And it will be a nice return right there.
So right now, for the first time in a while, if you have ever watched these videos, Cooper has always been ahead. Now I'm ahead of the broadcast, and so this will be a little interesting. And Miami's about to snap it on my end.
Okay.
And they run the ball. Number 4 on Miami gets a 9.5-yard pickup.
So that's going to be Mark Fletcher who has the carry, and that is a great start there for Miami. They needed that.
Yeah, Miami, they can't let this become an offensive, high-scoring game. It has to be low-scoring, long possessions, and they are about to go again. Let's see what happens. Screen pass to Tony, breaks outside, gets about a 6-yard gain to the 40, their 42-yard line. Malcolm Tony will also be a key factor in this game because he has been one of their big offensive weapons this year.
I go back to the regular broadcast, see if I can get ahead.
Don't be shy.
Not too far ahead, but
Yeah.
at least get it
Where
more
you
in sync.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but yeah, Miami just got a 2-yard run. Pons gets the big tackle, and it's 2nd and 8, a long 2nd and 8, and Malcolm Tony is in motion and ends up passing it to him out of bounds, incomplete. 3rd and 8.
Okay, so I'm just now. It looks like I got a 2nd and 8 play, which is the incompletion to Malachi Tony.
And there was really nowhere to go for Carson Baker out there. Indiana had real good coverage on there, and we'll see what happens. And they're just now showing the Indiana part of the crowd, and it's crazy how it goes. And here they go, pass to Tony, and he's ripped down for only a 4-yard gain. 4th and 4. Let's see if they go for it or punt it in this early down. It looks like they're coming off the field, and the punt unit is coming off.
Which, I mean,
it's too early to be going for it.
The only thing I will say, though, about punting it, I understand, if you give the ball up right here where they're at, that's going to hurt you in the long run if you are Miami. Because Indiana, they can quickly strike down the field. However, when it comes to games like these, I do like a little bit of aggressiveness. Maybe go for it where they're at.
Yeah, and it was a 4th and 4, so it was surprising to see. Wasn't surprising to see on punt, and the punt was caught by Indiana with a fair catch at the 40-yard line. So Indiana is backed up, and we'll see if this Miami defense can maybe even get a safety. It wouldn't be surprising the way they're going.
Right. And that Miami drive, 5 plays, 20 yards, 2 minutes and 39 seconds, take it off the clock. And so, if you're Miami, not the best way to start on offense, but let's see, because you pinned them deep. Like you said, Derek, it's going to be interesting to see if they are able to make some stops here. Potentially, like you said, get a safety, and this may be an interesting ball game. And Miami's got to have a lot of things go right for them in this game.
Yeah, and Colton on how many interceptions Carson Beck will throw tonight for Miami. Ideally, they hope no, and they hope zero, but ideally they don't want more than two. And definitely, if there's any fumbles, they only want one because they cannot win this game with having for having a lot of turnovers, and definitely if one of them is like a pick six or fumble recovered for a touchdown. So Miami's got to have a good sense of mind on throwing the ball and be strong on holding on to it.
Yep. It is. Let's see. Let's scroll through some of these stats real quick here on ESPN. So officially, it was 2 minutes and 44 seconds they gave Miami on the drive. Of course, they didn't convert a third down. They didn't go for it on fourth down. Yeah, the win probability still sits the same. Miami had 20 yards on that drive, 1 first down, and they held the ball for 2 minutes and 44 seconds. So, really interesting here so far in this ball game. This is really, for now on, I really do need to keep this ESPN thing because doing game broadcasts like this is very helpful for that. It's less computer work I have to use because right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 computers running tonight's stream for you just to get everything. Plus, I have my iPad with the rosters, so it takes a lot of internet to run a live stream.
Yeah, and I know how that is. If you get too much things going, you get 1 or 2 things glitching, and you can't have the game glitching for you. And we're now back to the game. Fernando Mendoza out there on the 1st and 10.
8 touchdowns, 5 incompletions, folks. I mean, that's crazy to even think about.
There goes Indiana getting out of that backed up situation from the 5-yard line with a 10-yard gain with number 8, I believe it was. No, number 3. Indiana with breaking a 10-yard gain. Looked like he was going to be stopped at only 5 yards and did a nifty spin move.
And I think this is the thing with guys like Omar Cooper on the outside for this Indiana team. They are able to make plays and really create for themselves. It's really impressive to watch.
Yeah, enrollment. Yeah, for sure. And that's what I like about Malachi Tony. He's really good at breaking long plays out of something to out of nothing. And Indiana was stopped with a 1-yard gain by a run from Roman Hemby.
Yep. Got Corey Heatherman as defensive coordinator for Indiana, and I think it's Mike Shanahan, offensive coordinator for the Indiana Hoosiers. So we got a 2nd and 9. And a little short pass there to Roman Hemby that goes for about a yard. That's a good defensive play right there.
Yeah, that's number 1 on Miami. Just didn't let anything break free, and they locked up the tackle, open field tackle, and that's what you got to do. And now here's a 3rd and 8. Let's see what happens.
That was
back, running away, passes, and just throws it away. Good defensive stop by Miami.
I mean, with that kind of pressure, I mean, you kind of just have to let that one go. I mean, there's not much you can do there if you are Fernando Mendoza. I mean, honestly, that's the right play. You're getting all that pressure. Might as well just get rid of it and play for the next series. And so, we'll see what they can do as far as the plan.
Yeah, Roman Hemby, he was trying to do a block for Fernando and just got absolutely pile drive by number 12, and Malachi Tony returns it for about 10 yards, starting at the 42-yard line. But hold on a second, there's a flag on the field.
Got a Big 12 officiating crew here tonight.
Holding by Miami. First down, they'll move them back to probably about the 32-yard line or so. And we'll see what happens here. And the head of officiating tonight is Michael Vanderbilt, I think they said.
Yep. So that drive, Indiana 4 plays, 13 yards, 1 minute 54 seconds taken off of the clock. Both quarterbacks here tonight are 2 of 3 passing the ball. Mendoza has 12 yards passing. Carson Beck has 9 yards passing. And then running the ball, Mark Fletcher, 11 yards. Roman Hemby, 1 yard. Of course, Fletcher's had 2 carries. Hemby, 1 carry. And then receiving yards, leader for both teams. You got Malachi Tony for Miami, 2 receptions, 9 yards. And then Omar Cooper, 1 reception, 11 yards. And so that is some of the stats here early in the ball game. So both teams had to punt it away to begin this national championship game. So let's talk about this upcoming drive. Going to be really big here, I think, for Miami. I know you didn't score on that first drive, but personally, I don't know about you, but I feel like if you're Miami, you need to go score right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's a have to right now, but it would be key to get 3 points at least on this drive, and also I think they need to go back to the run game. They ended up just running the ball, I think 1 or 2 times that last drive, and the first time they ran it, it was a 10-yard gain. So I think they need to run the ball a little bit more in the early down situations and try to get ahead of the chains, and then maybe try to do some quick passes.
I agree with that. I think, right now, I think running the ball, you can establish a little bit of the run, and then because where you're at, once you run the ball a couple times and get into position, then you can tell Carson, okay, let's drop back and try to fire one down the field and see how much we can get. I think that's the game plan here if you are Miami here on offense.
Yeah, for sure. And right now, Carson Beck, they're showing his record as being a starting quarterback, and he's 37-5 as a starter. So he's he's been in these situations and has been a winning quarterback, and is the number 5 draft pick projected to be.
That's crazy. 37-5, and he was getting all this hate from everybody. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how it goes, and it's like okay, and now you say don't listen to all the haters, and that's a 4-yard carry by number 4 on Miami. That was Mark Fletcher.
Yep. And that was a good run too. I mean, they used their offensive line to create a little bit of separation, and you got a nice run right there by Mark Fletcher. Like we said, just hand the rock to Mark Fletcher, and good things are going to happen here tonight for Miami.
Yeah, and Miami, they only got a 1 yard gain on that. They were they're getting a lot of motion involved. He got stopped for a minimal yardage gain with 1 yard, and we'll see if Indiana's defense will keep that up.
Well, this is a big third down here. Depending on what they want to do, I'll be honest. Going full Tony Romo mode and try to predict the play. I feel like this is your moment if you're Carson Beck. I say play action pass and try to get it outside to like Malachi Tony. That's where I think I'm going with this.
Yeah, and they're in Indiana lined up lined up with a 6-man rush and backed out of it to only 3-man, and they threw the ball to number 0. It looks like for Miami wide receiver Keelan Marion, and number 7 on Indiana's defense absolutely rejected him from catching it. So now here's another punting situation for Miami, 3 and out. Fair catch by Indiana at the 28.
And I mean, I don't know if this is sustainable for Miami. I mean, I know it's just the first 2 drives, but any drive you have to get points is important here. And so, we'll see what their defense can do as we are going. Well, I thought they were fixing to go to commercial break.
That's what I kind of figured it would do, but so right now they're just showing players to win the Heisman national title and be the number 1 draft pick. And some of the key names on there was Cam Newton, Joe Burrow. And I couldn't remember the other one they showed, but
and Kelly, I can't remember who it is.
I should know it, but I guess I wasn't fast enough. But here goes my Indiana, excuse me, throwing the ball, and it looks like long pass, running, no, incomplete. And there's a flag on the play, most likely a holding on Indiana on the right tackle of Indiana. And that is, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that word, that name. It's so long and weird. But well, never mind. It's number 67 on Miami, which I can't see who that is. Khalil Benson with the flag. And deep pass to number 3 on Indiana. He breaks loose for a 25-yard gain. First down, Indiana. And that is Omar Cooper Jr. with that 25-yard gain.
All right. Colton sent me a trivia question for all y'all here on the stream. Who did Miami play in the 1984 Orange Bowl to win their first championship?
And Indiana with a 6-yard run on first down for number 8. It looks like there. Well, never mind. I don't know who.
Black.
Keelan Black as the running back. And here they go. Movement, 5-yard penalty on Indiana. False start. Well, yeah. False start on Indiana.
That's an easy call.
Yeah, and the way Fernando in the background confused me, just made me look like they called it on Miami the way he was clapping. But he's always positive, so I guess that's part of it. So 2nd and 9, that penalty could be key if they don't get yardage on this 3rd down, on this 2nd down play. And there was a throw to number 13, Surratt or so, and got it to 3rd and manageable, 1 yard to go. Never mind, they call it. They ruled it for a 1st down, so 1st down, Indiana.
So, real quick, the trivia question we have up on the screen, we're going to announce this at the end of the 1st quarter. So that is when you will get to see the answer to our trivia question.
And put in your answers where we can see. I don't know the answer to the question, but it will be interesting to see y'all's guesses or so. And don't be using Google to cheat.
Yep.
First, and that's a right down the middle pass to Indiana's tight end for 1st down yardage. Well, it might be that fullback, number 37.
And I think this right here is the type of drive that, I would have been worried about. Is there's a good catch by Elijah Surratt that gets about, I would say about
7 yards.
7 yards, yeah.
7, 8 yards.
Yeah.
And good job getting both feet in. That would actually be a catch in the NFL. So you always know. And man, Fernando just got foul drive right there by number 1 on Miami's defense, most likely Ruben Bain, I believe. Well, no. Well, yeah. No.
He got up though, so that takes a lot of strength to get up after that hit. Man.
That was a big hit. And that was number 1, Muhammad Tawari for Miami on that big hit. 3rd and 5. Run up the middle, and that's a 1st down for Indiana by number 8, Keelan Black. And Keelan Black just had a big burst of energy running through the line. Got a good opening and good blocks, and was able to pretty much just run right through and get the 1st down. Now Indiana's at their 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Another run for minimal yardage, 2nd and 8. And Fernando is getting just beat up right now, getting hit about 2 or 3. Has gotten hit. And now, again, right after handing off the ball by number 8, Thomas, and should have been a penalty on him because he saw that he did not have did not have the ball and should be called targeting if they call targeting in this last game. Just upward thrust and just unnecessary.
And that it cut his lip too when they
Yeah.
zoomed in on his face. Yeah.
hmm So, big hits by Miami right here in a 3rd and 6 situation. And Indiana has 54 touchdowns this season in the red zone.
Current drive, 9 plays, 53 yards, 4 minutes, 52 seconds taken off the clock.
And Miami needs to pass to number 80, incomplete. No catch. 4th and 6, and most likely will bring out the field goal unit. And that's what Miami needed because everything was going right for Indiana and almost had an interception in the end zone by number 29 on Miami's defense. And that is OJ Frederick.
And I mean, it's one of those where it's a little underthrown, trying to let Charlie Becker catch it on the back of OJ Federic. I mean, I see what he was trying to do there, just not it ended up being incomplete.
Yeah, sometimes those throws you can get a catch and catch them with a PI, but it was he put in a good position, but Frederic had real good coverage.
And it is now 3-0 Indiana after that field goal goes straight down the middle. All right, folks, we are going to take a commercial break as we have 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. 3-0 Indiana, and we will return in a minute.
And welcome back. And here's the kickoff by Indiana, return for 25 yards.
And so that previous drive for Indiana, 12 plays, 55 yards, 6 minutes and 6 seconds taken off the clock. Indiana has a total of 83 yards tonight. Miami has 25 yards. So It's a big drive now. You're down 3-0 if you're Miami. You have got to go score, I think. There's no doubt. You've got to score now.
Yeah, if they don't score now, they need need stops and stuff. But on that last drive, there was a iffy no call of a targeting on number 8 Thomas of the Miami's defense, and they were on that after the break, saying that they had a legitimate case for it, and Kurt Snetti was mad at the ref for not throwing the flag.
Yeah, and that's Jacoby Thomas who had the hit, if that's number 8. And so, yeah, questionable call. So, I guess
we're back to another commercial break on the live TV.
Yeah. These commercial breaks, I'm telling you, the corporate people make so much money off of this, but it's so annoying. That's part of why college football games today run for like 4 hours long, especially the big time games.
And I love Fox, and because the first game this year we did was the Auburn Baylor game, and I was on here, and we could not understand how Fox had so little commercials. It was just completely mind blowing how much of a difference it was between the two, and between ESPN and Fox.
Speaking of things that need to be changed in college football, 10 days from today, on Thursday, January 29th, I'm going to be live. And what I'm doing, if you remember, I put out a video a couple weeks ago talking about my changes to college football and what I would be doing. So if you want to join us on January 29th, I'll probably put out some more information closer to time on the community post and on my Facebook page, or on the Sabre Broadcast Network Facebook page. So keep a look for that, for me to put out more details about that. Basically, it'll be a Q&A stream, so you can come on. Anyone can just comment below if you agree with me on how, if as far as the playoff, anything that I said that needs to be changed, and anything I come up with, you can come on, talk to me about it, through the chat, and we can have a good conversation. In about 10 days is when I'm planning on doing that live stream. So that is just a programming note for all of you watching us here live tonight, because we have a bigger group in here than what we normally do, which is crazy, So we have 26 concurrent viewers at the moment. We had I think we had 49 at the most we had a little bit ago, which was crazy. So thank y'all for tuning in. We got 2:36 to go in this first quarter.
And the deep pass, almost catch for number 87, tied in for Miami, Alex Ballman, off of a tip pass from Indiana defensive player number 21. Almost had it, but number 7 came in and knocked it out of his hands.
Yeah, that's for Elijah Hardy, who had the tip. I mean, that's big, because if that ball does not get tipped, that's a first down for the Hurricanes. That's just really good defense by Indiana.
Yeah, and here we are on 2nd and 10, and again, another pass breakup for number 5 on Indiana's defense, and that is D'Angelo Ponce. And to a quick 3rd down.
Now, CJ Daniels, who was trying to make the catch, me personally, I don't like these first 2 calls right here by Miami. I feel like, at least first down, run the ball, establish the run game on this drive, and then pass the ball on 2nd and 3rd down. That's my opinion.
Yeah, they should have ran the ball at least that 2nd down. And there goes down Carson Beck by number 4, Aiden Fisher from Indiana's defense. Quick 3 and out again with 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
you're getting into dangerous territory if you're Miami, because I'm being honest. If Indiana goes down and scores a touchdown, with how Miami's offense has been playing here early, I would be very worried if I'm a Hurricanes fan, or if I'm rooting for Miami right now, because Indiana, as you can see, their defense is good enough. They're not going to allow you to score very much at all.
Yeah, and in Miami had a good punt there. It looked like it was going to be a short 30-yard, 35-yard kick, but got a good bounce and bounced to probably about Indiana's 22-yard line, I believe. So that was good for Miami, and Miami cannot stand to go down two or three scores in this game because so it's. Just big for in Miami to get a stop here, and college football teams. This playoff is 9-1 for teams that scored first, and right there's a big
The only
defensive
one that lost was Oklahoma.
Yeah, because they went up about 14. They went up 17-0. And that was a 7-yard loss for Indiana. Good defensive stop by number 4 again on defense of Miami.
And that's something you had to have if you're Miami. You got to. That's Ruben Bain, but I mean, you had to have some stop here, slow down that Indiana offense for sure.
Yeah, and another big stop, a 1-yard gain for Hardy. That was big, number 99 on Miami. And that is number 99, Ahmad Moulton, senior.
Yep.
Yeah. So 30 seconds left in this first quarter, and Indiana's faced with a 3rd and 15 at their 22-yard line. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Not shot clock. So check down to Indiana. Got it off about a 4-yard gain for Indiana. Gonna run the clock out to make it go to the second quarter. Good stop for Miami there.
I mean, you had to stop them here, and that's just a good job. This defense is going to keep you in the ball game, and so 3-0 Indiana after the first quarter. I mean, I think that it's not terrible, but you had a couple of opportunities to score, and as far as put something together on the offensive side, you got to get something going on this next drive. You definitely got to get something going if you're Miami.
So. Yeah, Miami has had nothing good really on the offensive side other than the run game. The run game has been decent, but Indiana has done good adjusting, holding, closing up the early holes they had in the defense.
All right. So for those of you who have been waiting for the answer to this trivia question, I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen, but let me read the question off one last time just so that you know what we're talking about. Who did Miami play in the 1984 Orange Bowl to win their first championship? So, Derek, do you have a guess before I put the answer?
I've already looked up who they played, so I do not need to let this go. I couldn't wait.
All right, folks.
I did what I said y'all don't do.
So Nebraska is who they played. They beat Nebraska in the Orange Bowl, folks. So for those of you who were wondering, there's your answer. Nebraska is who they played. Thank you, Colton, for the trivia question. That was actually pretty good. So
Yeah, and that game is a close game. Miami upset number one Nebraska, 31-30 in the national championship game with highlighted by Ken Calhoun's game-saving interception on Nebraska's 2-point conversion attempt, and again on the 1995 Orange Bowl, where Nebraska won. Well, that doesn't matter, but got the interception on the Nebraska's 2-point conversion attempt to seal the victory for Miami. And right now,
changed the quarter on my scoreboard, but yet where it says where it had QTR to initial quarter, it's gone when it's put on the stream. So that's just kind of funny.
yeah, oh well. But some key stats from that first quarter is the biggest stat really is the yards. Miami had 83 yards compared to Miami's 18. Indiana is just dominating. Miami's been good about stopping the run game for Indiana with only gaining 16 rush yards, but they have 67 pass yards.
Here's the punt. And that one is a nice punt, clean. And Malachi Tony's on the other end. And he breaks another tackle, getting around the 30-yard line to the 35 and up to about the 41-yard line. A nice return from Malachi Tony. So maybe that's a spark that the Hurricanes needed to get into this ball game.
Yeah, it looks like he did a good job stopping himself from going down early on that play. But it looks like there maybe Miami can get something going this first. So they ruled Malachi Tony down at the 31-yard line. So came back a little bit, and Miami's not in as good of field position. But maybe Miami can get something going here.
Goodness.
First and 10 for Miami here. Snaps the ball. Run by Miami for minimal yardage gain of 1 yard. Nothing's going good for Miami this early game.
And really, I think when you look at this right here, right now, I mean, it's the battle of the trenches here early. Indiana is doing a great job on their defensive line, that offensive line for Miami. Indiana is just controlling the line of scrimmage right here, right now, on this side of the ball.
Yeah, and on this second down, they had a good. Miami had a good pressure hold up for Carson Beck, and was able to shoot dart to number 7 on Miami, and that
Daniels.
It was BJ Daniels, yeah, and now they just are on a 3rd and 2, and they ran the ball up the middle. I don't understand that play call much, but just absolutely get stopped by Indiana, led by number 6 Kamara for Indiana's defense.
I mean, there's just
nowhere he could win. In my mind, it's they should have tried to get they should have done a jet sweep or out running to the left or the right, and they have to punt again once it started looking good for Miami a little bit, but Indiana gets the ball back with 13 minutes to go in this second quarter.
And I mean, maybe it's just me, but like the score is 3-0. But with the way Miami's playing, this feels like it should be a lot more.
Yeah, it surely does look like Indiana could be up more, but Miami's defense is showing up and doing what they have to do, and they that's what Miami needs in this game because they cannot hold up to a long, high scoring game. So good job for Miami's defense holding up, but offensive wise, they got to get it going.
Yep. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody, to the broadcast. And we're Indiana's getting the ball back. And whenever the game starts back, it'll be 13 minutes left, 1st and 10. And so far, Indiana has been dominating this game, but it's only 3-0. And now we're back to the game, and some of the main things that have been going on is Fernando Mendoza is absolutely getting pummeled by this defense, and has so he's only been pressured five times against. Was only on dropbacks. He was pressured 5 times by Alabama and 6 times against Oregon. So far, Miami has pressured him 4 times, and it's not even to halftime.
Definitely playing the best defense that they've had to play so far. So.
Hello, Katie Davidson. Thank you for joining the broadcast. And War Eagle tell you, at least I know how to spell. You don't even know how to spell. It's all right. He's one of my friends, and we always get a joke out of messing with each other. And well, now we're back to the game. It was now it's 2nd and 10. Incomplete pass by Fernando Mendoza to Surratt, broken up by number 29. Frederico for Miami.
And I mean, right there, if you watch this, I mean, where the ball's placed, it's perfect placement. That right there is a good example of just great defense by Miami.
Yep, and Miami, Keontae Scott almost got the block there, and Indiana, Miami just could not get down number 37 on for Indiana, and that is Riley Nowoski. So that just the way it goes, I guess. Now Indiana's with a 3rd-and-1, 12 minutes left in the second quarter, and Indiana runs the ball up the middle with number 8 and gets a 5-yard gain for Keelan Black. So here Indiana goes, gets first down and is driving. First down here for Indiana, run by number 1, Roman Hemby for Indiana, and like we've seen all game, it's only a 1-yard gain for Indiana. So the offensive passing has been way better than throwing.
They're showing some of the highlights of Mendoza getting blasted all season long. There's no doubt when you look at Fernando Mendoza, he has been a warrior when it comes to taking hits this season for the Indiana Hoosiers. So,
He's been tough. Gotta love Fernando. He's one of my favorite players in college football. Probably one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorite non-Auburn players. And it's 36 here, throw to Surratt and incomplete, broken up by Federico, but flag comes in, most likely going to be offensive passing interference. Looked like it, not offense, defensive passing interference. Looked like it was clean, but they got the call. So first down, Indiana.
And that was one of those that's just kind of like a 50-50 ball. Both players are kind of fighting for the ball. And so they just call it on defense. And that's a lot of times what happens.
Yeah, and it looked like they could have. That could have been a no call. Could have been a no call. Could have been called. So in this game, it's just the way it goes sometimes. But Miami, number 99 again on defense, has been in the backfield of Indiana a lot on these runs, and that was again Ahmad Moten Senior.
And he's one of those guys that's really good on that defensive line for the Canes. So definitely going to be a really good player in the next level when it comes to the NFL.
Yeah. 2nd and 14 run for Roman Hemby, and again a minimal yardage gain with only 1 yard. So Roland Bain with the tackle there. So Indiana in a 3rd and long here, 3rd and 14.
If you're Indiana, with how Miami's offense has been playing here early, I think I go conservative here. Either maybe do another run play or either throw like a short pass. And so, make Miami have to play offense.
Yeah, here I think we should say a quick slant or starting a run and quick stop for a stop, but we were going to commercial break. I guess there was a timeout or something.
I think there may be an injury, or Indiana called timeout. Okay.
I didn't see what happened, but I just know it went to commercial break. So, any questions y'all have of what y'all think, what we have seen of the game, or anything non-college football, maybe NFL football wise, or seeing who we think is going to win the Super Bowl, or hope wins the Super Bowl, just feel free to ask, and we'll try to answer your question. Even college basketball, we might could answer a question or two.
also a programming note, you know, if I think we're working on the details, but the plan is to be live during the Super Bowl this year. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun to be able to do that. Plus, with that, I can know that I am right on track with the game because I can just get my antenna out and just watch it on the antenna, be right there as live as you can be for football games. So Super Bowl plan is to be live for it. So for those of you who are watching us live right now, if you do expect us, I think we're going to try to make that work with the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, but now they're starting to get back to the game here. They're in Miami, and they are presenting the Fernando Mendoza with all his accomplishments at his high school in Miami, and so on. And Mario Cristobal and everything going on there in Miami with high schools of former players and everything like that. And just interesting to see all the history that goes into these games.
I don't remember. I think last year.
Offsides here. Offsides by Miami. Miami gets a replay on third down, but Mendoza gets hit again. So it'll be 3rd and 8 for Miami. And after this, a quick start for number 4, Ruben Bain on Miami's defense.
And so far on this drive, Indiana has ran 8 plays, 36 yards, 3 minutes, 40 seconds.
Yeah, Fernando's just getting beat up. Ruben Bain and number 3 looks like on Miami both got hit on them. One going high, one going low. And here we go again, 3rd and 8. Number 3 in motion. Run up the middle by him. No, not Himby. I can't Black, and gets about a 20-yard gain for Indiana, 1st down. Just ran right up the middle and got an opening and just got a good go at it.
And you can tell what Miami's defense is starting because they've been out there so long here in this first half. They're starting to get tired.
Yeah, and they gotta get some stops here and get some longer drives on offense, and got about a 3-4 yard gain with a check down to number 3 Omar Cooper Jr. and their wide receiver, and they're at the 20-yard line, 2nd and 7. It's a throw to number 80. Touchdown. Nope. Touchdown, Indiana. Number 80 on Becker Charlie for Indiana. But looks like it could have been he stepped out. So will be reviewed and see if he kept his feet in. And looks like he went out at the 6-yard line. So most likely this will be called back.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, it looks like his barely right his edge of his right foot makes it out of bounds. So Miami gets lucky, but gotta get a stop here, limit the blood flowing pretty much and get hopefully just stop them to 3 points. But this should be a quick review. The longest part about it should be the fixing the time.
That defense, they're
ruthless.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it makes it worse too. He's wearing white. Charlie Becker's wearing white cleats, so it does make it a little bit harder to tell as well as far as if he's out or not.
Yeah, it looked pretty obvious, but it looks like he barely clipped out, but that's part of the game. I'm wondering how many, and they did call it back. So it's first and goal for Indiana. But I'm wondering how much of it is they're being tricky on that, trying to get away with some calls, like the maybe offense getting offense linemen wearing white gloves or wearing white gloves and stuff like that to maybe stop to limit the holding penalties or something. But motion by number 80 and run up the middle by Roman Hemby for a yard. So second and goal at the Miami 4.5.
This is going to be the 13th play on the drive, folks. 13th.
Yeah, and you can tell it's wearing out on Miami. The defense, most of their players has their hands on their hips. Pretty much every one of them looks exhausted. So Miami's offense has to get some plays going here. Here's another run by Black, Keelan Black, to the 1 yard line. So third and goal at the 1 yard line for Indiana, and this can be a key turning point in the game. Whether if it's a touchdown for Indiana, Miami will have to. It seems like a more have to go and get a field goal or something, just the way, just go get points on the board, because the way the offense has been going, they need just something. But here's a timeout by Mario Cristobal. So I guess they'll adjust their plans after seeing Indiana's play lineup.
I mean, you only got 6 minutes and 17 seconds before halftime. With how Indiana is controlling the clock and, not allowing Miami to really run anything on offense. Honestly, if I'm a Miami fan, this is dangerous territory, because like you said, if Indiana goes in and scores right here, I don't know, with how Miami's offense is playing tonight, that may be it.
Yeah, and this can, if Indiana's offense gets any momentum on their side, big momentum, it could be catastrophic for Miami, because their offense is just not playing a way to be able to handle 50-point game or so. So we'll see what happens.
All right, folks, coming up at halftime, we are going to show you the answer to this trivia question we have here on the screen, and then we'll break down what we thought about the first half of this game. So stick around for that at halftime.
Yeah, but in this question, it's who is the only team to ever three-peat in college football history? And I actually know the answers from years ago, if I remember right. And whenever Georgia was trying to get the three-peat, and they got the two and beat them. I think it was they beat TCU, and then I believe they beat Alabama, or they beat somebody again, and ended up getting a stop for only two. But that might be wrong. I can't remember.
So, yep, we'll give you the answer to that question at halftime. So far, 13 plays, 81 yards, 6:18 taken off the clock. That is crazy.
Yeah, in Miami, there's something even more crazy. They have 14 total plays. Out of the whole game, they only have 14 total plays. For Indiana, this drive, they have 14 plays. So that just proves how much the defense for Miami has been out here on this third and goal. They get a run up the middle for number 37 tied in for Indiana, Riley Nowitzki, and that's now the touchdown for Indiana. 9-0, 6:13 left. Extra point coming up for Indiana soon.
So now I get to put Indiana with 9 points. 14 plays, 85 yards, and 6:44 taken off the clock. That's dominant.
Yeah, 15 plays, and they converted on the the extra point, and go up 10-0. And Miami, their defense has been playing big, but they gotta get some. Gotta at least choose some time or something, and get where they can give this defense a rest, because they're just beat and just can't hold up forever. And if Indiana goes up anymore, if they go up by 17, this could get to be in big trouble for Miami.
Well, you got 6 minutes and 17. I think it's 6:17 left in second quarter. So if I'm Miami, I want to keep the ball literally the entire rest of the way of the first half. That's what I think they should do. Keep the ball. Do not let Indiana go back on offense the rest of the way in this first half, and then see what you can do on defense to begin the second half, because Indiana's going to get the ball.
Yeah, and here goes the ball out of the back of the end zone for the kickoff. Miami will start up there on the 25-yard line. But Miami has about less than 20 yards in this game, and Indiana has already made it to 151 yards. So that just proves how dominant Indiana's offense has been compared to Miami. So maybe Miami can get something going here. It looks like they're gonna do a run. And they run it with their running back and get a 5-yard gain. And that was their big running back, number 4, Mark Fletcher.
Yep.
Ref shoving an Indiana player back, de-escalating a potential fight, and that could be big problems for Indiana if that was because they could not afford Miami to get any momentum and crack into this lead if they want to keep the momentum going. Here we go. Second 5 minute, 20 seconds left in this um, first half. And Mark Fletcher gets tripped up for about a 4-yard gain. So 3rd and 1 coming up for Miami.
If he doesn't get tripped up there, he
Yeah.
could have had a big play.
Yeah, and that could have been a penalty, but it wasn't obvious. But Mark Fletcher goes for the run again, 3 straight runs, and gets stopped. Miami bringing out their punt unit again. It looks like 4th and 1, and in this position, I would just leave the offense out here, get a big offensive lineman or one of their heavy backs, and just put 2 tight ends behind them, do the tush push, try to just get that first down, and they got to get something going on offense, and that looks like what they're gonna try to do is get something going. But Kirk Cinetti, first run by Mark Fletcher, looks like he got it. It's close. Looks like right on the line. This could go either way.
Wow, that is
first down. They're marking it first down. Looks like this will be challenged, of course. And Kirk Cinetti is surprised by the call, but oh man, looks it's close. This could go either way, and I gotta love Kirk's facial expressions. But deep pass to number 7, for Miami, and that's about a 30-yard gain to Indiana's 40-yard line, and that was C.J. Daniels for the 30-yard gain, and just broke loose in that man coverage and just beat his man and got a good gain for Miami, and it looks like things are looking up.
I mean, they needed that right there. And, I mean, beautiful way for Daniels to get wide open there within the seam. Beautiful throw by Carson Beck right where it needs to be.
Yeah. And here goes Miami. 1st and 10, 2:40 left. Malachi Tony with the screen pass. Gets the screen pass and is held to about a 3-yard gain. And 2:30 left. Miami has 2 timeouts, and Indiana has 2 timeouts. So, Miami, if they do go and score, they cannot leave too much time for Indiana to have a chance to go capitalize and hopefully get the double play.
If I'm Miami here, I'm not using the timeouts until if we still have the ball and it starts running under a minute. That's when I start contemplating using the timeouts. But you got the 2-minute timeout coming up. So
yeah, and they ran it to the 2-minute warning. So there's about to be a commercial break. So Miami driving and hoping to get some offense finally going.
Yep. So with that being said, we are going to go to a commercial break with the national broadcast. And so we will see you on the other side. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are working to get Derek back in just a minute, so we'll see what happened with his end. So, right now, my Derek is back. There we go.
Sorry about that,
All right.
everybody. But it's 3rd and 8
Yes.
now for Miami. 2 minutes left, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, now you got a 3rd down. I mean,
Got to run the
I wonder.
clock here for Miami. Just in case, can't have Indiana doubling up, but Miami's 0-5 on 3rd down, and quick pass to number 0, and he's brought down short, 2 yards to go, and that was wide receiver Keelan Marion.
Honestly, with the way this game's going, if I'm Miami, I think I'm going for this.
Yeah, you gotta go for it. Pushing it for a kicker, it'll be about a 60-yarder, so 60-yarder. So gotta go for it. And looks like Mario Chris, they are going to go for it, but they're going to let the clock run down, and Mario Cristobal will call the timeout with 38 seconds left. And looks like Miami's going to bring out their kicker to take the 3 points, and that is Carter Davis.
Which I don't know. I mean, with the way this is going, I would have went for it and tried to get the opportunity of getting the 1st down and then going down and scoring a touchdown. Like, we need 7 here.
Yeah, if it was 3rd and 1, I think they would have went for it. But it's 3rd and 2, and 3's better than nothing. And here's the 50-yard kick, and it's up, and it is to the Doinks off the right upright. No good. 33 seconds left. Indiana will try to capitalize with 2 timeouts.
That
And that's
is
the
just
worst thing.
that's just indicative of this night for Miami. It has just not been good. And Indiana, although their offense has not put up a lot of points yet, this just feels exactly like what that you didn't want if you were Miami.
Yeah, and that's the worst sound you can hear as a kicker is a doink off the upright, and so and some of the best sounds for the opposing team. So looks like a run up the middle for Roman Hemby. Timeout for Indiana, most likely coming to no. Looks like they're going to run the clock down and take it to halftime. Surprising they're not going to try to capitalize. But here we go. So, going to run it. Nope. Going to snap it. Mendoza throws to number 80, and that's a catch at their 50-yard line with 3 seconds left. So right here, you just got to Kirk Stinetti is wondering why they didn't take the timeout earlier, where they could get another play in maybe before kicking it off, kicking it. So they're out of field goal range. So it looks like just going to be a Hail Mary here for Indiana. Hope for the best.
Yeah. We'll see what happens here. What a first half, though.
Yeah, and Miami's got to be careful and not get any penalty flags because a roughing the passer would probably put them in about field goal range, and passing interference definitely would. Miami needs no errors, and looks like they're probably only going to bring about 3 men to rush. Maybe only 2. So we'll see what happens. 4-man rush. Mendoza runs, heaves it to the end zone, and it is incomplete. And that's the end of the first half.
That was a really good attempt, though.
Yeah, and that's the reason why it took me a second. I couldn't tell if he caught it or not because that was spot on. Almost interception, but that was almost a perfect pass for Indiana.
Well, let's go to a commercial break, and we will see you on the other side for the halftime show. We'll be right back.
You don't have any audio. Welcome back, everyone. Cooper's having problems with his mic. We'll see if he figured it out. Nope. So we'll let Cooper try to figure that out. But the first half is in the books. Indiana is up 10-0, and maybe Miami can find something to go on the offense. So far, Miami and Indiana, this game so far has been one-sided, and Indiana has completely dominated. Their offense has put up good yardage, probably about, let me see, about 200 yards. 169 yards of total offense to Miami's 69 uh, out yarding them by 100 yards. Indiana has 116 passing yards. 49. Miami has 49 passing. Indiana has 53 rushing, and Miami has 20 rushing yards. And some other key stats is Miami is 0 for 6 on third down, while Indiana is 4 for 7. Indiana has 11 first downs. Miami only has 3. Miami has 35 total plays to Indiana has 35 total plays compared to Miami's 22. Um, Miami has allowed 1 sack. Indiana hasn't allowed a single one. Miami has punted 4 times. Indiana only twice. 3 penalties on Miami. 3 penalties, 26 yards, and Miami has 2 for 15. One being a holding and the other being a false start. And Cooper's still having mic issues. We'll see if he can figure this out. I don't know what happened. But again, we still Miami, no turnovers in this game so far. Miami dominating the possession time by about 4 minutes. So Miami's offense has been struggling and just been Indiana the whole game pretty much. And I still don't hear Cooper. If y'all do, let him know, but I do not hear him. And I'll be right back. I was just making sure yours was still playing because it keeps falling off. So I was like, too many people are.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I got it figured out. The source that I had the microphone running through was my scoreboard, and because with the way that live streaming software is, I can add a camera, and so my camera was actually additionally put in here. That's probably why it is a little glitchy on the live stream here tonight, but that does help explain to you why we were having the issues we were. So I believe I got it fixed. That was the issue the whole time, was that I just didn't have my microphone showing because I didn't have the source in here that had my microphone. So we are fixed in this sense. So yeah, microphone's fixed. I'm back. Derek had to walk out for a minute. So he'll be back in just a minute. But answer to our second trivia question of the night is Minnesota in the 1940s. That is your answer to the trivia question. They were the only team to go to win 3 straight national championships. So there is your trivia question for the second trivia question of the night.
So, sorry, everybody, I'm back.
Derek is back. Derek is back, and I think I finally got my microphone fixed.
Yeah, there you go. What happened?
I think I had well, the source that I had my camera, like my microphone running through, was the one I had the scoreboard on. And when I went to halftime, I clicked hide on stream. And so the other camera is just additional, and so that doesn't run my microphone at all. So I got it fixed. Yep.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I was having my own technical issues. My dad turned on was trying to watch the game in the living room, and the streaming service I bought for tonight's game is only one stream allowed going on at a time. So it kicked me off. So we had to try to figure that out, and then we came up to the ultimate solution of it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, so the 1 day passes, I've done it before. I did it for the first round games when TNT had some of them. And so yeah, Sling only gives you one TV on the 1 day pass. So that's all you can watch at one time.
Well, the blue one, it allows you to watch 3 streams. What the Google said. And I only got the orange because I just need the basic plan. So that's pretty much what problems we're having. So if you want multiple streams, get the blue. If you want one stream, only get the orange. So just a tad bit of information where you don't make no mistakes.
Yep. So, some extra additional news for the channel. For live streaming, we are working on a main set. So that's in the works. Not sure when it's going to be done. We got a lot of work to do with it, but there is a new set that is being constructed as far as, in the works as far as how we're going to do it. So you can expect at some point, whether it's later this year or maybe sometime next year, we will have that ready to go. But that is something that is being worked on at this moment. So a lot of news coming from Saber Broadcast Network. We're trying to get a lot of interesting stuff going. And so, yeah, been a fun game. And so I just wanted to announce some of that information as well. All right, folks, we are getting closer to the second half of Indiana and Miami in a game that Indiana has really dominated. I would say, for the most part, dominated the ball game so far. I just don't. I feel like for Indiana only to be up 10-0 is crazy for this type of game, but definitely is interesting so far. Second half, Miami's got to do something on offense. They got
Yeah,
to. I feel like Miami's got to get a stop on defense, and they got to go down and score. You got if you want to have a chance.
yeah. Miami can not stand to have a touchdown here on this following drive for first drive after halftime. So that's just something that could bother Miami is a touchdown to start it off because uh, they have no answers on offense. And if they can't get any answers on defense either, or some stops on defense, their offense will not have any chance to come back.
Yep. All right, folks. We are going to take another commercial break, and we're going to come back in just a few minutes and be ready for the second half.
Everyone, and welcome everyone. And I've written down behind me on my little board some key things to happen in this second half. And you might not be able to tell, but for Miami, it's get the offense going, and for Indiana, it's just keep the momentum and get the run game going. So that's my two keys, and we'll see what happens. Anybody with any questions, shoot them out. We got time.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Cooper.
Had to get up there for a minute. Yep, I just had to get up for a minute.
Okay, well, I just wrote down some key things for the second half on my board and shared them in my mind, and I'll share them again where you can hear it. And it's Miami get offense going, and I guess he cut off. But for me, it's Miami get his offense going, and Indiana just keep the momentum and get the run game going.
Yeah, I agree with that fully. They gotta. To me, Miami's got to do something on offense. You had that opportunity. I understand you doinked the kick, but you got to get something going. You got to let that defense have a little bit of a break. So
Yeah, and a turnover here for the defense, get an interception, fumble, or something like that would be huge, and get Miami's offense just started in a good position and start off with some easy points and carry it from there.
folks, if you've never live streamed like this before doing a football game that can last, 4 hours long, you always need
Get
a little
thirsty.
something to hydrate yourself. And so I had to go get me a Dr. Pepper because, throat's getting a little sore.
Yeah, I've already went through 2 cups of water, and I'll probably have to get up sometime and fill my cup up again between this half as it's starting back real soon, and it's actually starting back right now. Uh, uh, so, are you still on the Skycam or what?
I'm still on the net. I went back to the national broadcast before the game started. So, yep, there's the kickoff. This is for a
Back of
touchback
it.
in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, in Indiana, they've been getting the ball out fast. 2 seconds, under 2 seconds. So that's part of what's going on. Kirk Stinetti said before halftime to Molly McGrath, no, somebody that the refs missed 3 key flags on that scoring drive. So, and you. If the refs do start calling penalties, that could be big for Miami in a bad way. But something big is they get their cornerback coming back after being suspended the first half for a targeting call against Ole Miss.
Yep.
And Fernando Mendoza is sacked for an 8-yard loss, and now it's 3rd and 18, most likely. A good start for Miami's defense.
Now, if they were to get a stop here, and if Miami goes on offense, Miami's got to do something. They got to go score.
Yeah, and we could be looking at another low scoring game like 10-3 game like we did in Miami versus Texas A&M, and Miami Indiana just keeps it simple, ran it up the middle with Keelan Black for a 6-yard gain, but there's a flag on the field, and this could be big if it's on Miami. Oh, my face mask on Miami, and that gives Indiana the first down on number. That was on number 18 of Miami's defense. So that gives Miami Indiana's first down, and that face mask was against. I don't know who it was against Armando Blunt. That Miami had him stopped and just let him get it and just handed it over. But Keontae Scott got the stop on first down run for no yard gain.
The mistakes and just the inability to move the ball is what is hurting Miami right now. They got to clean things up right here on this next series.
Yeah, and Fernando Mendoza has put some liquid chalk on his hands to help keep secure of the ball since he's been getting smacked so much. And that's a deep pass on second down to a Strat or so, and but it's incomplete, 3rd-and-9.
There's a lot of traffic right there for Surratt. He just can't come up with it. Good defense right there by Miami.
Yeah, and they had number 3, Cooper Jr. open. He just ran over Keontae Scott. Had the easy first down right there, but didn't see him, I guess. But it's 3rd-and-9, 5 seconds on the snap clock. 3, 2, got it off. Pressure. Sack. Ruben Payne gets the sack. No penalty flag on this 3rd down, and Indiana's going to have to punt it. So the penalty wasn't anything to worry about for Miami.
And that's what you needed if you were Miami. You needed to get the stop, and they got exactly what they needed.
For sure. Yeah. So here comes the punt. Indiana is punting it from their 31-yard line. Mario Cristobal looked like he was running to the ref for some reason, but they kick it off, punt it. Malachi Tony gets it out of 20 and runs to 35, and goes out at the 37-yard line.
You can tell there's a little bit of a difference here to begin this 3rd quarter. Like Miami made some adjustments at halftime, and now if they go down and score, they've got a lot of momentum that has shifted onto their side. This could be perfect for Miami to start this second half.
Yeah, this could either go really good for Miami or really bad, just depending on how Indiana's defense holds up. If Miami made good adjustments on their offensive side, and it could be the game changer of the game. And if it ends up being no changes, that could lead to a blowout win for Indiana.
So, game is at a commercial break right now. And if Miami, for Indiana, I don't know if that was the best way to start out the second half here, Indiana, but we'll see what happens as we are going to take a short commercial break, and we will come back in a minute. And so we'll see you on the other side of the commercial. All right, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, and the game's about to start back. I'll have to step out for a minute, because I'm getting me something to snack on. Getting hungry in this second half.
All
Give me
right.
some good old popcorn ready.
I don't blame you at all. Get ready for that fourth quarter. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And first down, Carson Beck drops back, pass to Malachi Tony, gets 6 yards. Good start for Miami on first down. And that's who Miami has to get going is Malachi Tony and their running back. I done forgot his name. I can't. It's been too long. Mark Fletcher, yeah. I haven't watched many Miami games this year or Indiana, to tell the truth. I've mainly watched Auburn and Alabama games. But Mark Fletcher, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Mark Fletcher. Miami's back into the game. 57-yard rushing touchdown.
If you were the Hurricanes, that is exactly what you needed.
Yeah, and that's I just said wanted to say that's a big key factor for Miami between these two teams. So those two players they got going. So now we'll see if this leads to Miami coming back, but. Looks like the extra point is good, 7-10. And I'll be right back.
All right. Wow. Just wow, folks. Mark Fletcher, beautiful play. And so 10-7 is your score now. Yep. So we'll do that for a little bit if it's just me. Derek will be back in a minute. But 10-7, Mark Fletcher, he just got a hole and went through it. There we go. Got Derek back on the screen.
Yep, don't mind me eating my popcorn. But maybe this won't turn out for Miami like or Indiana like when Lane Kiffin said, "Get your popcorn ready" against Alabama.
Oh yeah, it's that moment. Well, that is
that
one
was
of the
worst moment.
Yeah, he said, "Get your popcorn ready," and then they lost by what 30 points against Alabama.
They got crushed, and I was like, yeah, that could have been something better. You could have said in that moment. And he just ran off. He didn't say, after that, he just ran off. And then afterwards, he just said, "I'm sorry for running off," because there wasn't anything else to say. And because he couldn't say, "Hey, I told you."
That was funny.
Yeah.
Well, 2 plays, 62 yards, 46 seconds taken off the clock. So that is big if you are Miami. So some other stats tonight. Fernando Mendoza so far, 12 of 18 for 116. And then you got Carson Beck, 7 of 11 for 54 yards. And then rushing, Mark Fletcher, 83 yards on 10 carries. He has the touchdown. Keelan Black, 9 carries, 48 yards so far here tonight. That is some of the stats that are pretty interesting.
Yeah, but Mark Fletcher was hyping up his offense, saying, let's keep this going after that 60-yard touchdown run. And we'll see what happens here.
$11 minutes to go in the third quarter. They had only 20 yards before that carry.
And that was the longest carry of Mark Fletcher's career. What a great stage to do it on.
Yep.
And time for Miami fans.
Touchback in the back of the end zone. And so Indiana, they're now the ones that need to do something on offense, try to keep a little bit of distance from this Hurricane team who is getting a little bit of momentum going here in this second half.
Yep, burst and 10 here, 11 minutes, 6 seconds left. And we'll see what Indiana does. They start off with a run, and that breaks out to be a 15-yard gain for Indiana's starting running back.
It's a good carry.
And that was by Roman Hemby. Miami had 70. Go ahead.
One thing I was going to say, though, is that if there's one thing that Indiana has been all season, they've been resilient in these moments where games have gotten close. They find a way to pull out. So we'll see.
Yeah, and on the first down, they get a 4-yard carry by Roman Hemby again. But just to capitalize on that, it's go and look at that Penn State game. They were down, and they needed a touchdown, and they got the touchdown with an amazing catch. One of the catches of top 5 catches of the year, if not probably top 3 by any player. So Indiana's meant for this.
Nice carry there for him. B gets about 2 or 3 yards right there. It's going to be third down and manageable right there for Indiana, which is, getting third and manageable. You can run anything you want to.
Yeah, and something key just happened. Number 99, Moten, for number 99 on Miami started limping off the field. So something to keep the eye on.
That's big.
And he dropped it. He dropped it incomplete. Had it wide open. Too busy about trying to turn and get the yardage and heard the footsteps. 4th and 3.
I got to be honest. With the momentum Miami's got, if I'm Indiana, I think I'd go for this.
Yeah, if they were down, I think you would, but that was a great punch out by number 1 on Miami's defense because Rat had gotten it pulled in, but last moment number 1 punched it out.
So they do end up putting it back to Miami. I think I would have went for that. I mean, it's only 3 yards, and I think I would have gone for it, try to get it.
Yeah, with the way the run game was going, I wouldn't have been surprised. But 2 yards would have been more likely. 3 yards might have been pushing it a little bit.
Yeah. All right, let's go to commercial break, and we'll see you on the other side.
Welcome back, everyone. First and 10 here for Miami at their 12-yard line. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Didn't get anything on that run. Right to the line of scrimmage. It's good defense by Indiana. Sounds like you're enjoying that popcorn.
Yep.
Second and 9 for Miami. Got Fletcher to the right of Carson Beck. Got 4 wide receivers out wide.
Dropped by Malachi Tony on the out route. Just underthrew him there.
Ooh, just a bad pass.
Yeah. Right.
3rd and 9. And now if you're Miami, you had a lot of momentum. Now you got 9 yards to go, and you're deep in your own territory. Got to make something happen here, Carson Beck. You haven't converted a 3rd down here tonight. It's time to do it now. Time to do it if you're Miami.
Here it is, 39 pass to number 7. That is dropped. Good defensive stop by Indiana. That was C.J. Daniels with the drop. Perfect throw, just hit him in the face mask and dropped it. And for those who didn't remember, but Carson Beck came to Miami most likely because his girlfriend was there, but he ended up cheating on her and got dumped.
Yup.
Other than that, Miami's happy. They got to Patty.
That was a 3-play, 1-yard drive that lasted 46 seconds for Miami. And so here we go, Mendoza. I feel like this is a big drive, depending on what they do here.
Yeah, and I see them starting out with a run because it was working out decent for them last drive. And play action, and he sacked. No, yep, sacked. Eventually, by number 3 on Miami's defense, that is Akeem Mesidor.
We haven't heard his name tonight, but he is one of their best players on that defense.
Yeah, and he almost got the strip, but Fernando was able to swap to the other hand, and the ball was knocked loose. But good job by Fernando Heisman Mendoza with the stop. So 2nd and 18 after that sack, 7 minutes 30 seconds left. Run with Keelan Black for about 7 yards. Third and long here, 3rd and 12. Looks like Miami's going to bring 5-man pressure. 9 seconds left on the snap clock. 9 to 5, 4, 3.
Quick pass.
Got it off. Got it off to Surratt, and he's dropped it. Could have been a lot of contact there, but no flag.
Oh. I mean,
could have gotten a holding, but I like the no call. He was able. Yeah, and I don't think it changed much. So I think I like the no call. So
Tennessee
Indiana
Daddy's mad.
punting. Yeah, here's the punt by Indiana, and it's a booming punt down to Miami's 5-yard line, and Malachi Tony is wrapped up at the 7 2-yard gain.
You know, he got lucky that he gained yards on that because where he caught that, it could have really been bad there. So
Yeah, he should have let it go. In my mind, he would have had a touchback if so, but it was too late to not commit to it, I guess. So everybody in the comment sections on football topic, who do y'all think's gonna win the Natty? Not the Natty, but the Super Bowl this year. There's New England and Denver in the AFC Championship game, and then they got Seahawks and the Rams in the NFC Championship. A very highly anticipated rematch from the overtime thriller in the regular season between those two teams.
I'll say this. It's crazy to think about this. When it comes to that AFC Championship game, same matchup, 10 years apart. And if Denver wins, they will play in the same stadium that they won their last Super Bowl in 10 years ago after they beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship. Crazy how life goes full circle. And if Seattle gets there, it'd be a rematch from the Super Bowl about 2 or 3 years prior when Seattle absolutely killed Denver 43-8.
So
that
a lot of key matchups, and also there's Jared Stidham as their starter, which could turn out to another Eagles 2017 moment with I done forgot his name, getting hurt, and then Nick Foles coming in and winning it for him.
Yeah. One last thing I'll say, when you look at that Eagles team, both quarterbacks that have won a Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles was a backup to Carson Wentz at some point. So, just interesting facts about the NFL during the college football playoff national championship game.
Yeah. And
Plans
Fernando, but for Fernando, he's most likely going to get drafted by the Raiders, and Deontay Moore most likely could have dropped out of the draft because he didn't want to go to the Jets. So you never know. First down for Miami out there, 7-yard line. Run by Fletcher for about 3-yard gain.
That makes a little bit more breathing room where if you're Carson Beck and it comes to the, throwing it through the air, you got a little bit more breathing room to do it.
Yeah. And that was a dangerous pass, almost intercepted by number 46 of Indiana. That, well, I thought it was 46, my bad, 42, Andrew, the P or so.
I think the ball was put where it when you come into that receiver, it's put where it needed to be for that receiver, but
Looked
good
like
job
it was a
right
little
there.
behind.
Right.
To
It's a good job by that
Malachi
play.
Yeah. On third down, Malachi Tony almost had a first down, but stopped 2 yards, a yard or two short.
And
Fourth
see,
and two.
it's moments like that wins you a national championship when your defense stops the opposing team from making a first down and you can stop them about a yard short. Plays like that are what wins championships in college football. That's a great play right there.
And 4th and 1, and it looks like Miami's going to punt it again. That'll be their sixth punt of the game.
I mean, I'm going to be
And
honest.
it's blocked. Touchdown for Indiana.
Oh, my goodness.
Blocked by Isaiah Jones and touchdown for Indiana. Indiana could be a big turning point. Miami and Kirk Sneddie with the same old unsatisfied look.
Wow. When you talk about moments where it could change the complexion of the game, that right there was a huge play. That was huge. In my mind, 2 championship winning plays back to back for Indiana.
And looking at Mark Cuban is in the stands today for Indiana, and it looked like he was pretty happy. And Indiana doinks the extra point, but it goes in.
Wow.
17-7, 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Think about this. If Miami does not miss that field goal in the first half, we got a 17-10 ball game right now. But because they missed that field goal, it's 17-7.
Yeah, and that was Mikhail Kamara on the block with number. I don't know who recovered it, but Mikhail Kamara was the one that got the hand and blocked it. And Carson Beck called him and said Carson Beck will go to the Jets. I don't think that'll happen. I think it will most likely be Ty Simpson that goes to the Jets, which would be a perfect fit in a terrible program with a quarterback that probably will end up being not the greatest in the NFL. In my mind,
the Jets are just the Jets, and they. Hey, but also something else when you talk about the NFL real quick. The Jets played in the last AFC Championship game that did not include the Patriots or the Chiefs.
And just another key knowledge is the Jets has more Super Bowl wins than the Bills. Back to the college game right now. That was a pass to number 4, Indiana's running back for an 8-yard gain, and that was Mark Fletcher again. Now run by Mark Fletcher to the outside to 30, 35, 37-yard line. First down for Miami. And right here is one of those moments that Miami needs to score bad. Game changing right here if they don't score.
Yep.
Miami probably got a hold away with a hold on that run, but the refs didn't call it.
But okay, here's my honest.
Throw to 87 and knock it away, but go ahead now.
Oh man! But what I was
He got
saying is
pummeled.
that wow.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if Indiana does win this game, and when you look at what went wrong for Miami, you cannot blame Mark Fletcher for this because he's played a great game in my opinion.
Yeah, Mark Fletcher and Malachi Tony and all the defense you cannot blame. It's you got to put the blame on the offense.
Yep. The drops by some of these other receivers.
Yeah, and that last drop by 87, they're tied in as Bowman, and there was nothing you could stop from that happening. Third and 6 here for Miami. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Snap by Carson Beck. Pressure, rolling out of the pocket, back, throws it. That's the number 7. He breaks a tackle to Indiana's 35-yard line, and that was C.J. Daniels with the catch.
That's big because you need a spark right here. And for Miami, that is a beautiful play. And Carson Beck, these are the moments that you really could see a championship winning quarterback because he can get out of the pocket and really make a play. This is just incredible maneuvering around. Probably his
Yeah,
best throw all night.
yeah. Best throw and best complete play probably for Miami other than that running touchdown. Those Malachi Tony. No, never mind. That was not Malachi Tony. That was Joshua Moore, but went down for about a 3-yard gain. Had it and went down to his knee. An accurate throw.
Yeah. And I think Carson, if you saw that a second ago, he knew he put it behind.
Yeah. And here's a hand. There's the throw to Malachi Tony, and he takes it to the Indiana's 10-yard line. Number 0 gave Keelan Marion. It gave a good block for Malachi Tony there, and was the key reason he was able to get such a big game.
I totally agree with that.
So it's not first and goal; it's first and 10. But to get the first down, they got to get to the 1-yard line. 3 seconds on the play clock. Got it off. Handed off to Mark Fletcher, and he gets brought down for a 3-yard gain.
You're 8 yards away now, or about 9 yards. I feel like a fade, pass into on the right hand side of Carson Beck into the end zone, floated up there. See if you can get a touchdown here. That's what I think you should do if you're Miami.
Yeah, right now, that or keep it with the run game and give it another run with Mark Fletcher or get Malachi Tony back in there and get a jet sweep going. But Mark Fletcher with the big man run for about 6 yards and got it to the 1-yard line, to the 4-yard line, 3rd and 1, and we're to the fourth quarter. The fours are up.
Good quarter.
Yep.
All of a sudden, we got a ball game.
Yeah, and in my mind, this is closer than I had expected. I expected it to be a Indiana. I expected Indiana to be up at halftime like they were, but I expected them to pull away this second half more than just keeping it close.
Yep. All right, let's go to commercial break, and we'll be right back for the fourth quarter.
One first start of the fourth quarter with Miami driving at my Indiana's 4 yard line. And off to Mark Fletcher and ran it straight in and walked it right in. Touchdown Miami. Mark Fletcher is Indiana's key offense right now between him and Malachi Tony.
Wow. I just not just good blocking by the offensive line. Got to give the offensive line credit too.
Yep.
Extra point good.
Yep. And that's all that drive consisted of mainly Malachi Tony and Mark Fletcher, other than the one big chunk play by CJ Daniels to get them in Indiana's territory.
Yep. We got us a ball game.
Yep. But Miami has not led this game yet. So if they do come back, they'll be coming back from large leads. Well, manageable leads, but come back from 7-point, 10-point leads. Help me. Well, as a high schooler, I have one thing to say about the national championship. That's a downfall. Is it's on a Monday. The next day is a school day.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
worst part.
considering where we are with college football and everything, and that's part of some of the changes I want to see happen. Why are we not playing the college football playoff national championship game on a Saturday night when
Yeah,
that is the day that college football is known for?
yeah,
Why?
yeah. That's and why not on a Sunday? Like I know there's NFL games, but start the NFL games at 11 o'clock, like in college. Play a game at 3:30 or so, or 2:30, and then have the national championship start at 6:30 or 7. You know,
Yeah.
so that's my point of view. But back to the game, Indiana has the ball and ran it up the middle for about a 2 yard gain from Black, Elon Black.
And I think this, if I know how Indiana's going to do this, I think this is going to be a slow, methodical, go down the field, score a touchdown, run a lot of clock type of drive. Just old school, pound it down your throat kind of football that we all love.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but Keelan Black there on the second down popped off for a 15-yard gain. Just exactly what you just said. Ran it straight up the middle, breaking tackles, getting some good blocks. Well, as an Auburn fan, Ohio State had Bo Jackson as a running back on their team. Colorado just signed Cam Newton, running back, as their running back. So, well, Auburn hasn't had a chance for one of those two players again. But
That was close to being
that,
picked off and taken to
if
the house.
yeah, if 24 went for the pick, he would have had to pick 6. He would have been gone, and that would have been huge.
That's like the first pass I've seen during this
That
playoff
was
run for
iffy.
Indiana. That was not a good pass by Mendoza.
But that was a good string pass with the blocking to number 3, Omar Cooper, for a good about 20-yard gain.
Yep.
Just great blocking by 37, Riley Nowalski, and number 13, Elijah Surratt. Fernando Mendoza in the second half is 1 for 5 for only 19 yards.
That's crazy.
Getting pressured and was able to scramble for only 1 yard. Miami's getting pressure on Fernando Mendoza, led by
And the fact
Ruben
he
Banks.
got that yard, though, is impressive, though, because he could have been taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Great awareness by Mendoza to at least get a yard out of that.
Yeah, Ruben Bain was the key pressure with number 3 finishing the job with that being Akeem Mesidor. And Roman Hemby with a 5-yard gain. Third and 4, 12 minutes left. And this could be a key play in this fourth quarter.
This is a big third down, though. Really
For
big.
sure. For sure. just to get in field goal range would be big from Indiana. Deep pass to number 3, and he couldn't find it. That was Omar Cooper that couldn't find it. 4th and 5. I would go for it. You're too close for a punt and too far for a field goal, I believe.
Yeah.
That was just a bad throw, pretty much. And could have gotten a tug on the back of the jersey on Miami number 24. But they're going for it.
Yeah, that's a hold. They missed that.
Never mind. Timeout by Indiana. So play clock was running down. Indiana got lucky. Miami got lucky, on that. Number 7, Zachariah Porcher had the hold on the back of Omar Cooper Jr. No call.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break while they're at timeout, and we will see you on the other side of this. Still can't believe they didn't get a hold on that.
Yeah, me either. And change subjects a little bit. There's something just about college football that makes you hungry. He started out with popcorn for me, then I went to orange, and then now I'm to cookies. Oh, man.
I thought about going into the kitchen and going and grabbing either a burger or a hot dog that we had made, but I'm being tough and sticking it out and watching the game.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's popcorn. I was like, I'm a little hungry. And the orange was like, I need to get the salty out. Now it's I saw the cookies on my little toy box thing and said, I can have a few.
17-14. 4th and 5, and they're going to keep the offense out there. Wow.
Kind of surprising, but first 4th down for them.
In the playoff.
Yep. In the playoff. We'll see if it turns out. Here it is. Fernando snaps it. High snap. Pass to number 80. And it's reeled in. That was a great catch by Charlie Becker.
That's big. You needed that right there. And you got it.
That was just a great catch. Just great catch, awareness of where you are. Great throw by Fernando Mendoza. Just great play.
You may have been a good throw. That is a better catch by Charlie Becker.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was a 5. To follow that up, there was a 5-yard run by Keelan Black.
I think right here, I think Indiana is going to, and I mean, I'm just going off of what I think they're going to do. I feel like they're going to do like an RPO, and it's going to be like a slant pattern, and there's going to be a man wide open for a touchdown for Indiana right here. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, and that would be one a good call, but right now they just kept it up with the run with Keelan Black for a 2-yard gain. 3rd and 3.
Indiana's got 16 first downs in this ball game. Miami only has 8.
Oh man,
Indiana's had the ball 10 more minutes than Miami tonight.
man.
And 4th down efficiency, Indiana 4 of 11, Miami 2 of 10.
3rd and 5 now. If they get this and get touchdowns here, it could be over for Miami. Pass too high and incomplete. 4th and 5. I think you go for the field. Oh man, this is a tough decision right here. You just got the 4th and 5 earlier. Could have got another holding on that play a little bit, a little tug of the neck, but not as bad as the one before.
That one's to me, that's less of a holding, in my opinion. Yeah. Plus, the ball is way behind the receiver, so I can't. That one is less of a holding, in my opinion.
Yeah. If it was closer, it could, and he ended up dropping it, could have been called. But Kirk Signetti is just mad on the sideline. Used the second timeout. Indiana down to 1 now, which could be bad for Indiana in the final stretch. But
probably wants to take a timeout and get his team regrouped because this second half has not been what they had really wanted. And so, I mean, offense has not scored in this second half, so they need something.
Yeah. So if it was a 4-point game right here, I would take the field goal, maybe 7 points. But where you are on the field, I think you just go for it. If you get close, you got Miami backed up, and maybe your defense can make a play. And if you get it, well, you're in key position to get a touchdown. And you got 4 plays to get it if they get the first down. Miami looks like they're going to bring 4 guys to pressure Mendoza. And Mendoza right up the middle and gets it and is blasted. It goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Mendoza.
Oh, my
goodness. Just a crazy play right there. A perfect play by Mendoza. Just explains why he won the Heisman and is being called Heisman Mendoza.
That is when you want. I mean, you could not ask if you're an Indiana fan for a gutsier quarterback, on 4th and 5 that'll put the ball in his own hands and take it himself and take the harm and score a touchdown. He gets hit in the back. He gets hit. He gets taken down the ground with his legs.
Yeah.
He still goes in the end zone.
Yeah. And they complete the extra point. Indiana up by 10, 8 minutes left to go in this 4th quarter. This could be the killer for Miami. A lot of time left, but if Miami doesn't score on this next drive, it could be big. Some other great things about stories about Fernando Mendoza is actually about his dad, his mother. His mother is wheelchair bound, and his dad, instead of jumping around celebrating like his other two, Fernando's younger brother and sister, he stays sitting down with his mom with Fernando's mom cheering together, never standing up to cheer.
Well, you still got. Let's see. How long
9
is? I
minutes,
think like 8 or 9 minutes
9
left.
minutes, 17 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're Miami, I think you got an opportunity to go and score twice and get a
Yeah.
stop. If you can do that, then you got a good shot here. But they have got to get that stop. They got to stop my Indiana's offense, which they've done a good job of that in the second half. You got to give them credit for that.
Yeah,
So,
and you got to be looking back at that doinked kick a while back, about now an hour and 30 minutes ago. Just right now, that would keep them in a 1 score game, and would make it way easier. And you just got and you look back to the beginning of the playoffs for Miami, they missed 3 field goals against Texas A&M. And granted, it was super windy that game, and everybody was having troubles with it. It was, but kicking struggles had been a problem for Miami this college football playoff.
yeah. What a game. And I mean, like you said, a
What a
lot of people at the end of the day, if Miami loses this game and it's close, you could argue that doinked field goal was a huge point in that game.
yeah,
That and the
and
blocked punt.
yeah. Special teams wins games, and some times you can look back at a lot of major games, like SEC championship games. Every SEC championship game, past this 3 or 4 SEC championship games, there's been a blocked punt, and the team that's blocked that punt has won it. And look back to Auburn, Alabama 2013, and it's the return all the way. But there's on the return for Miami right now, there's 2 flags. Looks like both. Well, one holding for sure on Miami, maybe both of them being a holding.
Yep.
After distance to go, 1st and 10, and that pushes them back at their 12-yard line.
That is not a good start for Miami.
Yeah. Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana, is just rocking right now after that touchdown by Indiana.
Yep.
Miami at their 9-yard line, backed up. 9 minutes, 11 seconds left. Let's see what happens on this drive. There's a snap, fake handoff to what's his name? Mark Fletcher, and pass to Malachi Tony for a 9-yard gain. It gets him out of the 10-yard line.
It's just a good. I mean, tackling's not incredible, but also the ability to drop him before he got the first down was a good job there by the defense.
Yeah, went fast, ran it up the middle on that third down or second down, and got 2 yards. Got the first down with Miami's running back Mark Fletcher. 8 minutes left in this fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for Miami at their 20-yard line. Carson Beck has all the time in the world. Deep pass to number 0 and no flag. And that was Martin. Keelan Marion. No, incomplete.
And really, I don't think there's anything there. I think it's just a miss.
Yeah.
And I think it's just Arian, kind of trying to slips a little bit on the route, and it's just a miss by Carson Beck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could have been a better throw, but great coverage by Indiana on that play. 8 minutes left. Play clock down low. Got off the snap. Throws it deep to Marion, and that's brought in. No, never mind. Hit the ground. No good. Perfect throw. Just could not haul it in.
Wow.
What a great catch. Here's a better angle at it. Oh, he bobbles it, but did it ever hit the ground? Yep. Incomplete. That third view they showed made it clear that it's incomplete. 3rd and 10 here. Miami was 0 for 6 in the first half. Now 2 for 4. All made to make matters worse. False start. Now it'll be 3rd and 15. Everything is going wrong for Miami now. Miami was driving, and it just all came to the fall. 3rd and 15, 7 minutes, 55 seconds left. Gotta have it for Miami. Snapped it, pressure off the edge. Number 5. Pass to number 87, 23-yard gain for Alex Bowman. First down for Miami. Had to have it, and they completed it.
It's a good catch. And, for once on this drive, Carson Beck actually has the receiver catch the ball.
Yeah. Malachi Tony down the field to the all the way to the red zone almost. Miami is driving all the way. Great pass by Carson Beck right on the dot. And then Malachi Tony doing his thing, just running up the field, making it to the 22-yard line. That was about a 40, 50-yard gain.
This is what makes him special, because he can get that next level burst of speed after he catches the ball and he makes a play. That's what makes him one of the top receivers in college football.
Yeah, he's a big playmaker. Carson Beck has plenty of time, tipped up, but safely falls to the ground. Those are close to ending Miami's season hopes almost. Fletcher had it right on his hands, just bounced off. Got to be scared whenever the ball goes up in the air off the tip like that.
Yeah.
6:44 left in this fourth quarter. Miami on a half-to-half touchdown or field goal points here. Here goes Malachi Tony. Oh, he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. And no flag yet. There could have been a potential holding on Miami on the block, but there's no flag to be found. He could have had it. There could have been a penalty right there, but they're letting him play. Miami with an 8-play, 91-yard there.
I was about to say they needed to score now, because you don't want to let it get too far down and not have another opportunity to get the ball.
Yeah. But they got 3 timeouts, so if it did get down, but that was Miami got lucky there, I think, with not getting a holding penalty. I thought, he's going to get the first down, but he ain't gonna. And there's going to be a holding penalty, but refs didn't throw it, so just another no call for from the refs. And Kirk Snetti is just in disbelief of what's going on.
What a game.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a commercial break, and we will be right back.
Well, match. Right now, ESPN is showing off all the highlights of Mendoza just doing his thing, playing great in these fourth quarters, showing up at the clutch. Indiana fans are hoping he can do it one more time to solidify their playoff hopes. But it's crazy to look at the stats yards wise this half. Miami has 250 yards, while Indiana only has 90. Just crazy to think about from the first quarter. First half, I mean. And here we go. Mendoza snaps the ball, hands off to Hemby for about a 4-yard gain.
And I think Indiana right here, they're going to be content to maybe run the ball, let the clock wind down some, but also they need to go down and score and make sure they keep Miami out of range.
Yeah, And you can't be settling for field goals in this situation, in my mind, other than if there's only like a minute or so left, because you can't let Miami have a chance to go get a touchdown and win it all with 3 or 4 minutes left.
Yep.
Here's another run with Hemby, but Miami with another short game, stopping Indiana for a short game, about 2.5 yards.
And again, this is Indiana. If they get the first down, this is working to their favor of what they want to be doing, which is running this clock.
And it's third down, 3rd and 4. Big situation here. Big. If they don't get it, Miami has a chance to capitalize big. And if they do get it, they can run clock and more clock.
Yup.
So it's a Cooper. He's open. Gets the first down. Gets about a 15-yard game. First down for Indiana. 5 minutes left.
Yep. And that's just what, if you're Indiana, perfect play. You got the motion for Cooper. He gets open and nobody really covers him, man. First down.
Yeah, everybody was confused. Perfect play call for Indiana right there. Great coaching. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left. Run with Elon Black for 5 yards. And once it starts getting down to about 3 minutes, 2 minutes, you'll see Miami start calling these timeouts.
I feel like it's got to be. I would say, yeah, about 2.5, 3 minutes is where I think Miami starts using the timeouts.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you want you want the 2-minute timeout to be your technical last timeout used, in my mind.
You want that to be your third timeout used. Man, good stop for Miami there, though. Asante went straight up the middle, got a 2-yard loss, third down. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left here. But, yeah, if you can get that 2-minute warning be your third timeout and you be able to save one, that's big because you got that timeout. If you have to settle for a field goal, you can call it and stop the clock with only a minute, a few seconds left instead of having to rush your field goal unit out there. 3-2 on the play clock, got it off. Pass to number 80. Another circus catch for him. A great pass. Had to have it for Indiana. You'll see Miami start using timeouts soon.
And that was like almost in the same spot where the other catch that Charlie Becker had. That's crazy.
And pretty much the same catch. Threw it behind him. Got it. Stopped. Got it. Same defensive player on him. Just couldn't help it. First down, Indiana. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. And Roman Hemby and got the first down. Clock still runs under while it's over 2 minutes, running out of bounds. Miami just cannot stand for them to get a touchdown here. Got to hold them to a field goal at least.
And I mean, if you're a Miami fan, if Indiana goes in and score a touchdown, that missed field goal and the block punt is really going to come back to haunt you.
Yeah, and for you, it's for Miami, it's if they do score a touchdown, if they get if they get real close to scoring, just let them score. Let there be as much time left on the clock for you to go, hurry up, get close to field goal range, kick the field goal, and hope you get the onside kick. And if you don't, you still got those 3 timeouts, hopefully, to fall back on.
All right, let's go to our final commercial break until the end of the ball game. We'll see you on the other side.
Welcome back.
What a game. What
What
a
a
game.
game. It all comes down to the final 2 minutes. And the key 2 minutes it is for Miami. They're about to have to start getting their timeouts used. Run up the middle for Indiana, 9-yard gain. And we'll probably see Miami call their first timeout here. And they do. Like I said, for keys in the first half for second half for Indiana was to get this run game going, and keep the momentum. They haven't been able to keep the momentum, but as much as you would have liked, but they finally have gotten the run game going on this last drive, and it has been huge. And also with Charlie Baker coming up with those big catches these past 2 drives.
Just some of the plays Indiana has made in this game. Like, they've made the championship winning plays in this game.
Yeah, in Miami, you can't, that first quarter, first half, you can't if they don't pull this out. That's gonna be exactly what happens to them is the special teams mishaps and the offense ability not to score on offense and Carson Beck is stressing out on the sideline right now because he knows what they're up against and how unlikely it is for them to come back from this if they get a touchdown. But looks like a false start on Indiana. That big for Miami because it was only 2nd-1. Now it's going to be 2nd-6.
I bet Signetti at the end of the game, if they do
He's
win.
going to say so much about the refs. He's got to.
But I mean, he's going to take the Saban route and find something to be like, yeah, we won, but this happened that we shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
We didn't play a perfect game, but we won the game anyway.
Yeah. And Signetti, in my mind, is the new Nick Saban of college football. His attitude and stuff. Another run, of course, for Indiana and Miami. Their defense is held up. Number one, their running back, Roman Himby, for the stop. So now it's 3rd down. Miami used their 2nd timeout. 3rd and 5. It all comes down to this last this 3rd down here. If they hold Indiana to a field goal, they have to get a touchdown. But if they don't get, they let them get the 1st down. It can be catastrophic for them.
This is me, but
Go for it on 4th down. Go for the win.
Either that, or I feel like on this 3rd and 5, I think I want to throw this ball to the back of the end zone and find either Omar Cooper or Elisha Rat, find him in the end zone, and put this one to bed.
Yeah, go get Charlie Becker. One of those 3 would be huge, but in my mind, I think you take the safe route, make Miami use their last time out. I think just make it where they don't have any chance to stop it, and that's what they do. Hand it off to Keelan Black. Miami gets the stop they needed. 4th and 5, and timeout by Mario Cristobal and his staff with 1:47 left on the play clock. So huge stop right there for Miami. Indiana was driving, and that false start just stopped, just set them back and gave Miami a new life.
I mean, this is just me, but I think you should go for the jugular. Throw it in the end zone and end it now. That's what I think Indiana ought to do.
Yeah, I take the field goal because Miami has not been able to capitalize much off the past game except for big plays. And they don't have any timeouts to be able to use the run. And the field goal is up. It's good. Indiana takes a 6-point lead. And something crazy that would happen, and it's all possible in this college football era, is Miami goes and gets the touchdown they need, but goes and doinks or misses the extra point and sends it to overtime. That would just be a fitting into the college football playoff, is go to overtime and stuff.
And, last year's national championship game was never really close. Ohio State, they won the game. They won the game. Even though it was 34-23, they won it last year. This has been a much better game than what that was last year.
And it's way closer than I expected. I did not expect Miami's offense.
Total yards, the exact same. Both teams have 318 total yards.
And you would have never expected it from that first half. It looked like Indiana was just dominating. You would never expected Miami to do this. But here comes the kickoff out of the back of the end zone. Touchback. Miami gets the ball at the 25-yard line.
And I feel like just like Ohio State last year, Miami should not have dropped those 2 games in the regular season, if we're being honest. And honestly, in my opinion, I think we're watching the 2 best teams all year round.
Yeah.
Miami just lost 2 games they really should not have lost. But this is where they should have been.
Because that one loss was SMU. One of them was SMU. The other was, what was the other one again?
Louisville at home.
Louisville. And Louisville, neither of those two teams were close to making it to the playoffs. So just 2 drops. And man, to start off this drive, a key drive, they start off with a delay of game.
Because you have no timeout.
Oh, and Mario Cristobal is livid, throwing his headset on the ground, breaking it.
I mean, you can't
watch this.
How do you get a delay a game right there? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, watch this go to the house like Nick Saban had happened after breaking his headset. Yeah. Back pressure. Oh, flips it. But incomplete. So won't happen. But 2nd and 15. First 1 minute 36 seconds left. Man, Indiana got the pressure, and Beck was just lucky to get that off. And I think he should have just taken the sack in my mind, because, well, never mind, because there would have been time running. So good incompletion. 2nd and 15. They got 3 plays to get it. No timeouts. Pass behind the player, behind number 7, and Beck got pummeled on the ground. Oh, 15-yard roughing the passer. This is going to be roughing the passer most likely.
That's a stupid penalty. If you're Indiana,
man, that hurts.
That you can't do hurts. That in a moment like this. You cannot do that. You got to stay disciplined. Man. That is terrible. That's terrible.
That you just can't do it. That was number 97 on Indiana's defense, and that was Mario Landino, and can end up being a key factor to Miami coming back. And here's the 1st and 10. The pass to number 6 out of the backfield, 1st down for Miami. Miami's driving. Got new life after that 15-yard penalty. That was Shamir Brown. 1 minute 20 seconds left. Yep. Great catch by Malachi Tony for a 7-yard gain. Just going up, picking it up out of the air. 1 minute 10 seconds left. Miami's got to hurry.
You got no time to go slow.
Yep, got to go. Pass number 7 doesn't get out of bounds, but gets the 1st down. Time keeps running. Till the ref places it. 52 seconds left. 1st down. That was C.J. Daniels with the catch. 49 seconds left. Timeout by Indiana. Greg Snetti wants to settle his defense down here.
Yeah, that's getting dangerous if you're Indiana.
Yeah, and in my mind, if this comes down to a Hail Mary pass to the end zone like it did for the Miami Ole Miss game, this could be another controversial no PI called in same as the Ole Miss have karma come around to them. You never know in these situations.
Couldn't have asked for a better end to the college football season. Really couldn't.
Yeah. 51 seconds left. 1st and 10. Miami at Indiana's about 45-yard. Indiana's about 45, 48-yard line, somewhere in there, maybe closer, driving. We'll see what goes. Snaps it. Deep throw. Intercepted by number 22. He goes down to the ground. Indiana has won the college football playoffs.
Oh my goodness.
Unless something crazy happens, Indiana has
Oh my
secured the
goodness.
victory. And there will be a flag for number 22 taking off his helmet in the end zone, but it does not matter.
Oh
Indiana
my
has won the national championship game.
What a way to
Oh,
end
man.
this. Just an underthrown ball. And the one thing that has cursed Carson Beck throughout his entire college football career is the underthrown or misplaced balls down the field.
Yeah.
And he does it once again.
If he put that on the dot, that could have been the touchdown, the game winner for Miami, because he had Green in front of him. Just terrible throw by Carson Beck. And couldn't. And the player number 0, Keelan Marion, was open. Just underthrew it. Got to throw it up higher. Can't. And Mary and number 22 for Miami just was seeking it down, and now all Indiana has to do is take 2 kneels. You never. Take 2 kneels and the game's over.
The storybook season for the team that came into the year as the losingest program in the history of college football is going to win a national championship in year 2 under Kirk Cignetti, who came from James Madison.
Wait one second. There's a kneel. Oh, and he got it. There's a chance at safety for Miami, but they were able to stay out. But Indiana wins. Kirk Cignetti gets the Gatorade bath. 27-21. Indiana wins a thriller.
What a season. You could not script it better in Hollywood if you had to.
Yeah.
Indiana, perfect 16-0, and they take down Miami in the national championship game. This is, and like we said going into this game, if Indiana wins, you could put them in that conversation for greatest teams in the history of college football. And now let the conversation commence. And they deserve to be in that conversation too. What they just did tonight is incredible.
Yep. There has to be a movie. As Kirk Cignetti has been saying, there's going to be a movie. Has to be. And just as he's been saying, Google me. I win where I go. Just Google me. And he's proved it right. And he's earned it. Fernando, everybody's earned it. 0 5 stars on the roster. Like 7 4 stars. And like 53 3 stars. So great win. Just gotta love the development of the players for Indiana. Gotta feel bad for Miami though. Just a heartbreaking loss for them in a terrible fashion for them. They didn't perform the first half, but Indiana just got to give them the congrats for a great played game.
The Indiana Hoosiers are the 2025-26 college football playoff national champions. When you 2 years ago to say those words, you would have thought it was crazy.
Yeah,
What
a team that struggled to beat Akron Akron in barely lost to them in the overtime game. Came now to win the national championship and taking and putting the U down in the national championship game.
Well, folks, that is pretty much all we have for tonight. But my goodness. Thank you, Derek, for coming on. This has been fun to do this here tonight.
Love to do it. Just super glad you let me come on, and gotta love it. Gotta love probably the best game you've ever done on the broadcast network, and greatest setting, the college football national championship game.
It's going to be hard to beat this one. Well, folks, as far as game broadcast, we may have the Super Bowl. We may do some UFL. We may see what we may do as far as football, but we'll let you know in the community post or on Facebook. But, man, what a season. So thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you again later. Good night, everybody.